You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. If you are a pet owner or know someone who is, you know that the most expensive sentence that can come out of your mouth is, "But he's a member of the family." And that is what's in this installment.
It's really beautiful out here. Everything is so white, but the trees are all have at least 4 inches of snow hanging from the branches. And we're supposed to get 6 more inches.
That's a real storm.
It's all done.
That's a significant storm. So if
Last night we had all of the highways surrounding us were closed. So if we had to go anywhere, we couldn't.
Ooh.
Which is kind of a weird, scary thing.
Yeah, it is.
But luckily.
Do you worry about getting old where you are?
Getting old?
Yeah. If in 10 years, if you're there in 10 years where you are.
I have a boy husband. No, I'm not worried at all.
No, I mean, if you have to
if I need CPR, he can pound my chest or whatever.
You don't worry about having to get down that mountain in a hurry. I mean, if I were living where you were living, I would take part of my property and just build a helicopter landing pad just in case.
What they do when they have a medical emergency, which I've seen probably 3 times in the 5 years that we've lived up here on the mountain, they land right out on the friggin' street and just block everything. And then they go look for the person.
That sounds reasonable to me to land on the street. I mean, not like anybody else can go through the street in the middle of the winter.
Well, I remember this wasn't even winter. This was summertime. And we had ordered a pizza. So we had 20 minutes to get from our house in the middle of nowhere to Williams to pick up our pizza. And we were anticipating the pizza. And I had the pizza taste in my mouth. I was very excited, and a helicopter landed and blocked us.
How dare they?
Hours.
How dare they?
For 2 hours.
I would send a spite gift to the person who had the nerve to have a heart attack in the middle of your pizza run.
I know. They could have waited 2 minutes, but then we would have been locked out of our street, so that would have been annoying as well.
Yeah, but you could have had your pizza
to sit in the car and eating the pizza.
Yeah, you could have your pizza in the car, yeah.
But yeah, we're pretty snowed in right now.
Well, I know you'll be posting some pictures because you sent me a couple of really cool ones.
Yeah, I'll put them up.
Of the goats frolicking in the giant snowfall.
and the dog. The big dumb dog who just laid out there and looked. Eventually, he looked just like a drift of snow.
What about that turbine of destruction you just adopted, Butters?
Butters was out there throwing his toys and then digging them up and throwing them again.
That's what I do with my life. That's a metaphor for my life. I throw out my toys and I dig them up.
Well, see, Butters isn't that crazy.
But speaking of doing bad things or being prepared for bad things, I poisoned my pet accidentally last week. So we're running a pet infirmary here. And there's nothing worse.
How did you do that?
I don't even want to talk about it. I gave the dog something I should not have given the dog, and I did a bad thing. And I didn't mean it. I meant well. This is if you have kids or, elderly parents or pets, there is no feeling worse than knowing that you accidentally did something bad to somebody you're responsible for. That's the worst. So, and with a kid, you could explain it, maybe with a parent, but the dog just looks at you and you're like, you have no idea why you're in this hospital, but I do, and I feel like crap. I'm so sorry. So,
is she recovering?
Well, it seems so, but $1 million more tests today, so we'll find out.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Can I just say that if you have to choose which kind of emergency room to sit in, hospital emergency room or pet hospital emergency room, as horrific as it is better. And I'll tell you why. In the hospital emergency room, nobody comes in and then they come out and say, well, we're going to have to put your grandma down. They don't do that at the People Hospital. But
I got to tell you, at the vet emergency room when we had to go last year, we sat there for 7 hours.
Wow.
Well, and then by the time they saw us, they said, "Well, this could be fatal." I'm like, "We've been sitting in Europe because they come out, and they do the
Triage, yes.
yeah, they do the triage, and they're like, okay, she can wait." And then by the time we get in there 7 hours later,
Oh, that's
they're
bad.
like, "This could be fatal now. We have to keep her for 4 days."
You do get the feeling that it's kind of like a little bit of a racket. It's a
Yeah, a
it's a
little bit. It's a lot.
combination of actual providing of important care and a racket. And if I had to choose to invest in a human medical care system or an animal medical care system, pick the one with veterinarians. With people, you're sort of dimly aware that at some point you'll pay for some of it. With
Yeah.
the pet, you're like, this is a mortgage on my house and I don't care. So you watch people completely like throw every rule book to the winds. We've done I'm not exempt from this. It's like, how
Yeah.
much? Okay. Like, we're gonna put
Yes,
a hold on your credit card for all the money you own. Like, okay.
yes, we had a Saint Bernard that had a medical emergency and had to have instant surgery on Christmas Eve a few years ago. Christmas Eve.
You lose your mind. And again, the pick sitting in the hospital city, it's sad, it's tragic to sit in a major hospital emergency room, true. It's very, very sad. But waiting in the vet ER is arguably worse. And people are coming in and picking up little boxes with their pets' remains. It's just god awful. That doesn't happen in a regular hospital. There's no
We just
part
went through that.
of the
Yes, there's
vet
no part of
ER
it.
where
But
people aren't just losing their minds. Whereas in the hospital at the ER, you still have hope usually.
yeah.
And you know what? Have you ever also had it happen where you had a point of view and then you changed your ways and now you feel terrible about the point of view you had before?
Oh, I used to say that people that spend thousands of dollars on pets for medical are ridiculous.
Yes. Also, I
Now I'm
used to
one of
say,
them.
yeah, now I'm one of them, and I also used to say that people who say, "Oh, our pet is a member of the family," were out of their minds.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't say that anymore. They're a
Yes.
they're like, yeah, they're yeah. So I don't make
They are. They're
fun.
part of your family,
Yeah, I don't
especially
make fun of it
once
anymore.
they've been around for years and years and years and years. I mean, even Butters, who is annoying as heck, and by the way, ate Frankie's brand new slippers that I just got him for his birthday a couple
Oh
weeks ago.
man.
Yeah, so right before the snowstorm, I looked outside and it looked like Butters was chewing on a log because he's a big stick dog. He's like a cat that plays with a box or a bag.
Okay.
No matter how many toys we buy him, he still wants to chew on sticks or chunks of trees or something that belongs to Frankie, which doesn't go over well in the house.
Uh
And we had just been talking the night before. Ugh. Frankie and I were talking about what a good boy he's been, which
huh.
I know was just like the jinx of all jinxes.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it, he's been such a good boy. And Frankie was saying, well, I don't hate him. I just hate what he does. And I said, I can understand that. So Eve and Frankie are out in the workshop hanging out, watching some weirdo bloody stuff that I don't watch. And I was alone in the house. I look out the back window and there's Butters. And I thought, oh no, he's eating a log. He's going to get sick. I'll go give him a toy. And as soon as I went down the stairs, he went running away.
Ooh, that's a bad
So,
sign.
yeah, and took whatever he had. First, I went into my bedroom because Frankie has been paying attention and throwing the slippers over the gate
Yeah.
into our bedroom. But unfortunately, he put them too close to the little cat door. There's a little tiny cat door on the gate. And Butters must have stuck his snout in there and grabbed the one that was right next to the little cat door. So I knew there was a slipper missing, and I'm like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. So Eve came in. I said, Eve, go out in the backyard and go find that slipper so we can hide it before Frankie gets in the house.
Wait a minute. The dog now hides things, and then you get them and you hide them.
And then I bravely, you'll be very proud of this, I bravely walked out to the workshop and told Frankie, You're not going to be happy, so take a deep breath. But I just took one of your new slippers away from Butters.
And you spent money on those, right? Those were not like
Yeah.
TJ Maxx. How much were those
No,
slippers?
no, these were like good bear paw slippers.
Oh dear.
I'm not gonna tell you exactly how much, but
Oh, tell me exactly how much.
hey, he's listening to this.
Tell me how much.
They were around $50.
Ah!
So,
And it's not like one slipper can be bought. You are now.
well, I looked all over the place for the other slipper, the last pair that he
Uh-huh.
ate, because they were the same kind of slippers, except these were brown and those were gray.
Oh, so you're hoping to make a combined pair of slippers?
Yes.
One brown, one gray?
I couldn't find the gray one. And with my luck, it's probably both the same foot.
Isn't there like a line of little children's clothing where you can do that? Where you can match the pink striped sock with the purple striped sock so that when your kid takes off her socks and loses one of them at the park, you're not out the entire pair of socks? What's that called? Is that like Garanimals or something? Is that what you're trying to do to Frankie, a 50-year-old man? Is make him into a guy who wears Garanimals?
No, no. But I did go out and fess up and then gave Frankie several hours to like not speak to me and mutter things to himself. When he gets really mad, he talks to himself.
I understand that. Yes.
And so, but I'm still looking for the one surviving gray slipper in the hopes that it's like, I didn't throw it out.
This sounds like the end of some gothic tale. She walks the woods and the mountains of Arizona looking for the missing slipper. Yeah, it's kind of the Moby Dick thing. You're going to be out there hunting that slipper for generations. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast, in which case you might also like my book, She Said What, A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.